хотите смотреть наши видео на русском, вы можете смотреть их в Яндекс браузере на русском языке, там есть дубляж.
Давай, Джо.
Is it working? Santa versus Debt Morose. Santa versus Debt Morose. Do you copy?
Праздник нам пришла, и много-много радости детишкам принесла.
Сегодня не могу. Да можешь ты, смотри, как все сделал. Я его делаю.
Ого! Большой мальчик. This is the Russian grocery store the day before New Year's Eve, crowded with people buying stuff like it's Thanksgiving tomorrow or Christmas Day. And there's plenty of food and plenty of people buying it.
Что, Дашенька, давай теперь я разочек стукну. Отходи. И все. Давай смотреть. Это
Туда?
Да-да-да, то-то-то. Happy New Year and welcome to Expat American again. I am the Expat American in Moscow, Russia. Again, it is New Year's Eve. We are about to ring in the new year in the center of Moscow. We're heading down this famous street. What's the name of this street, honey?
Tverskaya.
Tverskaya Street. But first, what is it like to be a Muscovite or to live in Moscow like we're living in Moscow? What are the days leading up to and surrounding the new year, and what do Russians or Muscovites do for New Year in this glorious city? We are just outside of Red Square, and you can see they've extended the Christmas market. That's Red Square over that way. There's the State Historic Castle. And let's take a look. Food for sale. There's a yolka. Where's my wife?
They're making horseshoes over there, and in Russian it's a tradition, it's for happiness. Like you will be happy if you have it.
Конечно, кот какой, смотри, омех, а? Догадалась кто? У Возников вождь другой совсем. Кавказский мех, видишь какой? Видишь кавказский мех? Это что? Что? Какой натуральный мощь, искусственный.
Настоящая кавказская жизнь.
What are these people?
So they're from the Caucasus.
Ah.
Hi, Merry Christmas.
Oh, how did you know, sir?
I know you.
You do?
Yes, I'm Siberia's Ded Moroz. Come here, come here.
Siberia's Det Moroz.
From Yakutia.
Aha.
Chizkhan.
Kruta, kruta.
So this is the post for Ded Moroz. You can send him a letter.
This is our Bot Street. I was here in the fall without snow. So this is the old tourist shopping area that Moscow has that does not allow cars. So it's their city walk. Of course, it is not the city walk off of Red Square, but this is where I was in the video. Russian shop where
Oh, and this is a very romantic street where a lot of foreigners have lived. Also, that's the street where there is no traffic and people just walk and relax, and it's really nice.
Максим, где статую? It is the last day of school. School is over in Russia. And so my kids are back there with my wife, and we are going to go to Krasny Plashad, Red Square, and show them what it looks like for the Christmas market. And it's the start of their 2-week holiday break today. It is also New Year's Eve tomorrow, so their break has just started. So they do not do the Western Christmas of December 25th. And actually on our way home today, we're gonna buy the New Year's tree, their version of the Christmas tree, and set it up, and it'll be where we live for about 2 or 3 weeks, which is when they put up their tree in Russia. That is the skylight, a dome skylight next to Red Square. That's the entrance over there. We are on top of an underground mall. So I just find it interesting that we're actually going to finish our Christmas shopping today, our holiday shopping in Russia. In America, in Britain, Germany, and Europe, as far as I understand, definitely in America, Christmas is over. And people are about to throw out their tree if they haven't already. I got some more glass dome skylights behind me for this underground mall that I'm on the roof of, which is just a sidewalk next to one of their busy streets in Russia, in Moscow. There's a carousel, old-fashioned carnival ride they've set up right outside of Red Square just for the season, their holiday season, which would be December and January, versus America's, which would be November and December. And here's a little board advertising what they have to do, the festivities in Red Square and around Red Square, and you can see the date. I don't know if you can read it. So it's December 23rd to January 8th. Inside the market, they have little tables where people can stand and eat their food and drink. There's security hanging out. keeping an eye on everyone so we're all safe. Different kiosks here to buy crafts and snacks. Привет! Где Дед Мороз? Где странный дядя? Максим, хочешь? Нет? Хорошо.
Спасибо. Здравствуйте вас.
Максимка, ты испугался?
That was Peter the First. He was a Russian ruler from long ago who actually built St. Petersburg and tried really hard to make Russia similar to Europe in architecture and culture and whatnot. And St. Petersburg is known as the window to Europe. So we're still just wandering around outside of Red Square, so outside the walls, and if it looks like just lots and lots of kiosks and lights and trees and people just going on forever, it's because it is this extensive. And here's another ride. That one though is up year round. You may have seen bits of it in other videos. Tigatov? Could there ever be a better entrance to Shokoladnitsa? Here's a second ice rink outside of Red Square. I'm gonna go inside of Red Square now, and there's a cool restaurant where you can go up and feel like you're eating inside a castle. I ate there with Aurora in the video What's Beyond Red Square. Here's a little tiny square tucked in amongst everything where there's a patch of snow kids are having a little snowball fight with, just like you might find in New Orleans. And right through the tunnel here is the Moscow City Walk, which connects to Red Square. This is just one of many churches and bell towers all over this city. And that one's going off now as we walk down Moscow City Walk to Red Square. And I had a pebble in my shoe, I think from all the salt and chemicals they have to put on the ground so you don't slip. It was hurting, so I had to take my boot and sock off and get rid of it. So I was the crazy American on the Moscow City Walk barefoot. Just for a moment though. There's the famous shopping mall, Goom. I've been in here many times, but specifically with my wife for the video, Does Russia Have Christmas? So they're selling carnival type food. Does it look like food from where you live? And of course we're in Red Square now. So right here there's a temporary restaurant they've set up in Red Square, and there's actually a little, you know, one-story higher TV tower in the center so they can do their broadcasting for New Year, because this is Russia's version of Times Square, New York, where in America you would want to go to Times Square for the ball drop for New Year's. This is where you'd want to be in Russia, you know, if you wanted to be at, you know, the main event for the holiday.
И потом такие находят.
Дальше еще идем.
Миша, что мы?
Christoph found a little chair on his way into the mall.
Работаем. Донесем сюда. Софи, кусочек, который оставили. Я. Вот эти кусочки.
Разные цены.
Работает! Молодец! Ого! Это сейчас я.
Ого.
Максим, я не могу. Максим, это мои фильмы. Положи, пожалуйста.
Okay, Christoph, is the tree ready? Aurora, it's New Year's Eve. What are you going to do tonight and tomorrow morning?
I'm going to my friend's house who lives right outside of Moscow, and we're going to just hang out, cook New Year's food, different salads, watch some movies, and we're gonna play.
Okay, Aurora. Most important question of this YouTube channel probably. There's a man named Det Moroz.
Yes,
He is
Father
old,
Foster, Uncle
he has white hair, white beard, he wears a blue or red robe. Holiday season, he gives gifts to kids in Russia. Is Det Moroz Santa Claus?
Okay, so I don't know if Santa Claus and Jeff Moroz are the same person, but what I tell my little brothers is that Santa Claus travels around the world on the 25th of December, giving presents to kids who celebrate Christmas on the 24th or 25th. And Jeff Moroz, he comes on New Year's, and he comes to Russian families and other families that celebrate New Year's and Christmas and that stuff on New Year's Day. And so I tell them that I don't know if they're the same person, maybe they're cousins, maybe they're related somehow, but either way, because we were Russian and American in our family, he comes to us on the 25th of December and on the 1st.
Christoph, is Det Moroz and Santa Claus the same person?
Well, no.
Explain yourself, young man.
I don't know how.
Svetlana, why in my Russian house in the dead of winter are there citrus and pineapple? Is it because I'm from Florida?
You mean mandarins?
Duh. And pineapple.
Oh, pineapple. Oh, well, these are the attributes of the New Year in Russia. So you have to have mandarins, and pineapple is a decoration for the table.
Lots of shopping going on. I don't see any empty shelves, even though it's the busiest shopping day of the year here. I have enlisted my cameraman Josiah to help decorate our tree. Josiah, I have an important question for you while I sit. Are Ded Moroz and Santa Claus the same person?
I have been told no, they are not. The outfits are different. Ded Moroz has a granddaughter, Santa has a Mrs. Claus. I think there's a few minor differences, but I'm not really the guy to ask about this.
I knew you would give an answer like that. Сейчас?
Хорошо, папа. Я хочу. Я лишний раз.
Давай, если не получится, жопу меня поднимать.
Это невозможно. Там слишком большая шуба. Это очень сложно будет. Это сложно.
Та-да! Это не красный.
Svetlana, I have an important question for you. Is Ded Moroz Santa Claus?
I think in every country they have their own Ded Moroz. They just call this personality different names.
Interesting. Okay. Because I'm going to go out on a limb, even though people might give me mean comments and say, I think Ded Moroz is Santa Claus. I think they're the same, even though they have different backstories. They are both old, white-haired, bearded men who give gifts to children who are good during the holidays every year. And my theory is, at least on a subconscious level for mankind, these guys, Ded Moroz, Santa Claus, whatever country you're from, Kris Kringle, represent God. And before we even know about the idea of God, we're little kids and we're being trained that we should be good if we want gifts and if we want this wealthy, older man to take care of us. And I think that sounds a lot like what is God. So do you like this tunnel, Sveta?
Yeah, it's great.
Beautiful
So
lights.
beautiful. Yeah.
So we are going to keep on walking down the street into the center of the city. It's going to be, the countdown will start in like an hour, I guess, till it's the new year, yay! And we were thinking, why not go to Red Square? We've spent our entire lives celebrating the new year in different countries, always at home. This is the first time at 48 that we're trying to do a New Year celebration out on the town and not just watching it from the television in Times Square or in Red Square. But I don't think we'll make it into Red Square tonight, unfortunately, because we've heard they've already closed it because there's probably too many people in there. But there are lots of wonderful places to go, and if they have fireworks to see, and perhaps concerts outside and laser shows. So we're just going to keep walking in and see what happens.
Look at this giant sweet. So you told me that in America you don't wrap the sweets like this. Look at the shape.
So we thought it would be fun to walk around and see a few more holiday lights right before the year ends, even though we've seen a lot already around the city. And I just got a news flash that the fireworks may be canceled for tonight. Will this video have an anticlimactic ending? Stay tuned. Oh, they've got little rocking horses for kids to play on here, swings, and tables to eat that have a little cover on it so you don't get snowed on, little carnival food type shops. And this is just a random square in Moscow. Security so random that when I looked up on the map to tell you where I was, I don't see a name for this place.
So this is the main post office of Moscow city. So that's technically the center of Moscow. So started from this building, technically they will map the kilometers through different directions of Moscow. So this is the center.
So like she said, the post office, and if you look down there, that is the corner of Red Square. And over here is the back entrance to a city walk from my video Moscow City Walk, which is a nice video if I might say so. And it snakes through the city, turns around, and ends up ending in Red Square. Okay, so we're approaching the intersection in front of Red Square, and it's finally looking crowded. And they're announcing on the loudspeaker that Red Square is closed for attendees tonight. So we are walking now back away from Red Square because the crowds are getting pretty intense, and there's a lot of police on their loudspeakers announcing that there are no fireworks, there are no concerts, and Red Square is closed. So we thought it would be more romantic to go back to where it's not so crowded. We're just a few minutes away from the clock turning over and the new year beginning. Alrighty, it is Happy New Year. We are behind Zoom Mall. Everyone's starting to scream. The lights are going on. Svetlana, Happy New Year. We got fireworks after all. Fantastic. Alrighty, so what do you think of Moscow for New Year? How does it compare to New Year's celebrations in your city. Click like, click subscribe, ring the bell notification, and click the box to see what happens next year. Christoph, Maxime,